Everybody's doing the Tony Mowbray. Come on. Sorry. Before we do start, I want to say thanks to everybody who came to Gatsby's after the Borough game. The Tony Mowbray song is the one what's going to be doing the rounds lately, and especially the people who came up and said that they watched the show. So a big thank you to you lot for that. We're here Thursday. We are back live on SAFC Fan TV. Joining us tonight, we have CONRAD. How's your day been, CONRAD?
It's all right. It was my short day at work, so just finishing that one up. Only 3 days left, and I start my new job as well, so not too
New
bad.
job? Woohoo! Promotion.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know it.
More
Yeah.
than that. There you go.
Yeah.
Terry, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been canny. Thursday, getting close to the weekend. Happy days. Happy days. Had a nice salmon salad, so I'm feeling nice and full, fresh, and ready to go.
Salmon? Are you already on better money than CONRAD then? Good
I've had
man.
salmon last 4 days. I love a bit of salmon, me, you know.
And how was your because I've not seen you, I didn't see you on Monday, so how was your trip to the Highlands? Was that canny?
It was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I went for a 6 mile walk around the Loch Ness, never saw one person, which was absolutely amazing.
Really? Did you see the monster?
No, I didn't see the monster. Had a look. I couldn't find it.
Did you all see the monster?
Well, you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
another
moving
story.
on. All right. And we've been joined by Jack Shields. Jack, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I haven't got any interesting stories like CONRAD or Terry, but yeah, should be fun. Looking forward to. I think we should have plenty of things to talk about tonight. So hopefully it goes by pretty well. See what happens.
Right, fair enough. No promotions in the pipeline then, no.
Unfortunately not, but you never know.
Right, you need to go on strike. Everybody else is. Right, okay, look, don't forget we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat if you want to join in the show. If you have anything to say, stick it in there. We'll do our very best to try and include you as well. Already on there, we've got Las Palmas Mackems, who is always first, says evening, lads, and also says good news on Gelhardt, which we'll touch on. DJ Sizzler Watson there, and some mad mistake blog says hello, everyone. So like we say, you can join us via the live chat if you wish to do so. Let's start by that news then. Just coming in, it's just breaking news now. Joe Gelhardt is signed for Sunderland. Your thoughts on that, Jack? The good news?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's someone who I've had my eye on for a while, to be fair. I've always been impressed with him when he's played. Not that he hasn't been, I wouldn't say a regular for Leeds, but I think he's got everything that we are looking for, hasn't he? He's young, he's got potential, and obviously he's a striker. So what more do you want? You know what I mean? We've been crying out for a striker, as everybody knows, because Ross Stewart is so precious, and we do need some kind of a backup for him. And yeah, I think it's something. I think he's going to be someone that the fans are going to love. I think he wears his heart on his sleeve, which is something fans will love. And yeah, I think it's an excellent move. Disappointed that Ellis Sims has gone, but I think Joe Gelhardt's going to be an excellent signing for us. I'm buzzing with it.
You're buzzing. He's buzzing with it. Emma's on the chat there. Hi, Emma says evening, ladies. Very nice. CONRAD, Gelhardt.
Yeah, pretty much the same as Jack. It's one of them that I've known of him for a little bit when he sort of comes up on the Leeds highlights. I remember him scoring, I think it was a winner against Norwich on one of the games I watched. That could have only been last season when he came on. So you sort of keep an eye on the younger ones, just sort of keep them where they're tabs on them, just in case, they might have to drop down a league or get some game time, which is clearly what he's thought is best for him, and Leeds have thought is best for him. So let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, and like we say, I mean, striker, which is what we've all been crying out for. Terry, your take on it, Joe Gelhardt?
Yeah, young striker, 20-year-old, almost broke through in Leeds. I think Bielsa probably could have played him when Bamford was injured at one point over, but very, very sort of high reputation with the Leeds fans. They seem to like him. He's been on loan to, once before. I think he's been on loan, but he's at Leeds now. He scored 2 goals in 35 games. Just a young up-and-coming striker. We need a striker. He wants to come to Sunderland. He said he wanted to come to Sunderland. It's like he's signed on the dotted line at this moment, but it hasn't been announced just yet. It'll be announced in the next 24 hours, I would have thought. And we need someone else with us, Stuart. We've got someone now. He does want game time, so we've got to find a way of playing the bloke. So obviously Leeds want him to get game time as well. So it'd be interesting to see how Tony Mowbray fits him into the team and what sort of formation we play. But I'm over the moon with Joe Gelhardt. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm pleased for the lad to come to Sunderland. And I know that he's got a massive appetite and he really wants to improve his football.
Right, fair enough. Like we said, I'll quickly go to the chat. Shout out to Michael McDonough on there. Mickey Stewart is joining us as well. David Joplin, David Walker. Chris Johnson says, what a signing Gelhardt is. Christian Speakman is an absolute legend. So we got a striker. Do you think we still need another one now, Conrad?
I know we had a quick chat in our group chat thing before, and even Jack Dodd sort of said, imagine if we got Sims back now off Everton and you sit there and you've got Stewart, Sims and Gelhardt going to the rest of the season, you'd be over the moon with that there. I'd like to have another striker still, because again, what happens if one gets injured? We know what happened last time one got injured. The other one got injured 5 minutes into the next game as well. So we could very quickly be back down to none again. Not that we can't play without strikers, as we proved that we did, but I think I'd like another one, even if it was, it sounds weird to say, but even if it was a younger player who was on less game time than this, just to give him a chance of, coming on and getting a bit of first team experience, not necessarily starting games.
Right, fair enough. Terry, do we still need another one in?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Apparently that Isaac Lahaji as well, he's a striker. He could be on his way in, but yes, I think we definitely need more than two strikers, because we've got a really good opportunity against the playoffs. We're coming on strong. We look great against Middlesbrough. We're improving. We've got a young side. So for me, the more bodies in, the better. It's like I say, we're going to go into Corey Evans later on, so it's unfortunate about that. But we probably could do with maybe a more experienced midfielder coming in. Now, unfortunately, Corey's out for the rest of the season.
Right, okay. Jack, you'd like to see another striker as well, would you?
Yeah, I think obviously we definitely needed one, and anybody could see that. I think, I sort of agree with what Conrad said. I think, you've got to look at somebody that might not be, regular to play, but, can be there and get a bit of experience. Do you know what I mean? So maybe someone who's even younger than the squad players we've got, maybe 18, 19-year-old that can maybe come off the bench a few times and change a game if we need it. And the experience that he'll get will be excellent. So it's a bonus for him as well. Just going back to Gelhardt as well, though, I think there's been a few teams in from, hasn't there? I think there's been Blackburn in from, Wigan were in from apparently. So we've got one over on them, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? That he's chosen us, and I think it's a good sign. I think ultimately the fact that Tony Mowbray has this reputation as being good with young players, and also the fact that we can see we're doing well, I think can only help, because it means that it's going to attract more young players to the club. Do you know what I mean? And they can see that they're going to have a chance, and they are going to be part of hopefully a developing winning side. So it's only a positive for me.
Yeah, Terry, you were saying something about that anyway, Terry?
Yeah, what I've heard is, like I say, Joe Gelhardt is impressed with the vision at the club, impressed with Tony Mowbray, like Jack says, with the young players, developing them. He's impressed with Christian Speakman. He's impressed with the whole sort of the way the club's going. So it'll improve his game as well. And like I said, we just need one or two experienced players, but these kids coming through, the sky's the limit for a lot of them.
Right, okay, just very quickly back to the chat there. Lots of people saying he's a quality signing, Gelhardt. Me personally, I don't know a lot about him, but I'm liking what I'm hearing. Michaelon Allen, who I believe is the Trinidad Mackem, says personally I'd go for Miles Leeburn at Charlton as for Evans' replacement. We'll get on to that anyway. Michael McDonough says, mind Terry Winsey isn't your contact mind. Right, okay. Also, whilst we're on with this, 90 people at the moment on the stream. We'd like you to just hit the thumbs up, give us a like if you would. We'd try now if we can get 100. would be superb on a Thursday night. It'll take you a second to do that. Just hit the thumbs up if you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat on. Close the live chat. You see that thumbs up, just smash that. Let's get these numbers going. Let's get them up. And if you are watching and you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to do so, and that would help us out. While we're talking about transfers, just been announced as well that Diallo has gone out on loan to FC St. Gallen, apparently. Thoughts on that, Jack?
Yeah, to be honest, I sort of half forgot about Diallo. I don't know about what Terry and CONRAD think, but I sort of half forgot he was there. I don't think he's really got any future at Sunderland anymore, let's be honest, has he? I think he didn't really do that much in League One. Now we're in the Championship. We've obviously got our model, and I just don't think he's part of the plans. So good luck to him. You know what I mean? If we can, get him off there and maybe get some kind of a transfer fee for him, then excellent. But good luck to him. I just don't see him being part of our plans.
Right, fair enough. Just quickly before I pass that back round, Exile Mackems says hi. He also says Speakman deserves big props for what he's done building this squad. I mean, it is coming together. It's looking quite good. Terry?
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget to go over at some point and subscribe to the Exile Mackems channel, because he does really good content nearly every other day. So well done, Exile Mackems, doing a great job on there. Hopefully you have 1,000 subscribers very shortly.
Yeah, whilst we're talking about the Exile Mackem and you're watching, I have actually emailed you about doing something. So if you want to either reply or get in touch, I'll just very quickly put our email address on the screen for you when I can find it. I've forgotten how to do all this, man. Right, there you go. There's our email address. So the Exile Mackem, just jot that down and send us an email. Then we've got a link to you, and we will be in touch and speak more. Right then, CONRAD, Diallo out on loan. Thoughts on that?
I don't think it bothers our squad too much on that. I think I might have said on one of the earlier shows we've done in the year that even us signing him on a permanent in the summer screams of us trying to avoid another Ricky Alvarez situation where we tied ourselves into a deal that we didn't really want to do, but didn't want to get involved in a legal battle against. Just went, right, we'll buy him and then we'll just farm him out as quickly as possible has happened already on the next window. I don't think he had a future. We tried him a couple of times through the middle, I think, but I think your numbers up when they're starting to put the 18, 19-year-olds on instead of you. I think that's time when you go, it's not for you, mate. So I think it was more we just avoided another awkward court situation and went, buy him, get rid of him later.
Right, okay. The Exile Mackem says the El Hadji deal is apparently very close, but Terry was telling us that anyway just before we came on air as well. Terry, your thoughts on Diallo out on loan?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, I don't think he's good enough for the Championship. I wish the lad all the best. I hope he has a good future over there in Switzerland. But when we got Diallo, it was a bit like opening a Christmas present, excited, weren't you? And it's like dark chocolate. It's like Bayern
Munich. Whoa!
Exactly. You open everything. Oh my God, that's dark chocolate. But for me, he's just flattered to deceive. He huffs and puffs, and he's never a striker. I don't even know if anybody thinks he's a striker. Why even played him up front? Because he couldn't hit the barn door, could he, from like 5 yards? But at the end of the day, he has got some good dribbling skills. He does retain the ball quite well, and he huffs and puffs, so he doesn't blow the door down. But I wish him all the best. End of the day, canny lad. Probably lovely bloke, and I do wish him all the best.
Jack?
I was just going to say, for me, technically, he always looked like he might have had something, but for me, he seemed to give up a lot, and I don't think he really had the heart, you know what I mean, to me. And I think there's one thing Sunderland fans will never forgive you for, and it's looking like you're not really going to put a shift in. And I think sometimes when I watched him, he was like, in League One, it was a bit of a choppy game, sometimes a bit physical, and he expected it to be like it was when he was in Bayern Munich, and he was just going to have all of the ball and be able to do what he wanted. And when you actually wanted him to put a shift in, I thought he was found wanting a little bit, and I don't think the Sunderland fans will ever forgive you for being like that. So I think it's probably best he moves on.
Absolutely, totally agree, Jack. I mean, like you say, you can accept a player that's not got the quality or technical skills. But if they go out there and bust a gut for you, then you can accept that, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, I say exactly what Jack says, but I don't think we'll ever see him in the Sunderland shirt again. Like I say, we got him by default, didn't we? Really, we got him by default. I don't think Tony Mowbray ever really wanted to have him at the club. So, yeah, I think he's gone now full time.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly, Hells on the chat says, "Mad mistake. I hope you're not still hungry. Your tea looked tiny. Was it a tiny tea you had?"
2 massive salmon fillets and absolutely loads and loads of salad, loads of greens, loads of onions and peppers. It was absolutely gorgeous, man. Honestly.
Can I ask you a question? What salad? What's this salad thing you speak of?
I eat it every day, man. It's good for you.
We've turned into master chef here, have we?
Yeah.
Sesame seeds.
All right. Bob Bass says, Speakman and Mowbray have given Sunderland the most positive vibe since the days of Quinn and Phillips. I'm 67 and followed the lads for 53 years and never thought I'd see the good times rolling back. There is an air of positivity around the place. I mean, I don't know if that stems from, me personally, I thought we were really going to struggle in the Championship. I didn't think the recruitment had been good enough for us to, I thought it was really going to struggle, and I was wrong, and I'm glad to be wrong. And here we are, sat on the edge of the playoffs, and wouldn't be out of place if we finished in the playoffs. In my eyes, I just quickly want to go on to Ekwah, who was signed. Was he signed? Did you talk about this on Monday? Because I wasn't on, but so just very quickly, I noticed on Mowbray's press conference today, he said that he never actually played a first team game ever. Does that concern any of you, Jack?
It's not ideal, but we're a young squad, you know what I mean? And that's the model that we're going down, isn't it? So I think, you know what I mean, as long as we don't put too much expectation on him, I expect him to be, tearing up the league straight away when he gets involved. I think, with the right model to let a player develop. So I don't think, it's not ideal, I must admit, but I think you've got to look at his physical attributes, though. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a big, strong, powerful lad, and I think we are missing something like that. So I think, I know it's not ideal, but I don't think it's as much of an issue as maybe you think.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly, back to the chat. Nick Coleman says would be best if we actually ended our interest in the cup with Fulham and went all out for promotion. We will get onto that when we approach the Fulham game. Massive shout out to our friends in Boston, Massachusetts, Marianne and Carl Taylor, who's donated $5 courtesy of the super chat. Can someone explain why it would ever be too early for the Premier League? We would need a lot of new players anyway. True, I think we've said, I don't think any of us would turn our nose up at going up. And even if we came straight back down, the extra money, what that would, that extra revenue would create for us to buy new players. Anyway, round of applause, please, for Marianne and Carl Taylor for donating $5. And don't forget, you can also do the same. This channel doesn't make a profit and it does cost money to run. And if you'd like to donate, you can do that via the super chat. There's a little $sign at the bottom of the live chat. You can click on that, select the amount you'd like to donate. And anybody who donates, it is gratefully appreciated. And we do thank you for that. Conrad, never played a first team game, Pierre Ekwah. That concern you?
No, I was just had a quick look. He's played, he's come on and played in the Carabao Cup and in the pizza trophy that we used to be in, what was it called? Papa John's one on there. I know that's not West Ham's first team, but he would have had to play League One's first teams and League Two first teams. So it's something on the end of the day. It's like Jack says, it's not ideal, but when you're signing players at this age, they might have this on there. It's not like where you go to jobs sometimes and they go, we want you to have 10 years of experience, but be only 18 years old. It's kind of like, we're just going to have to go with it sometimes and just go, all right, well, you'll learn on the job. Let's go. Let's see what you can do. Maybe it comes with no pressure. If he's just like, I'm just really desperate to play now, just want to show what I can do. Maybe it's actually even better that he hasn't played a proper first team league match, and he's like, I'm really up for this.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, back to the chat. Las Palmas Mackems says, only salad I see is the mint in my mojito. Very good. And also, David K on the chat says he's played in the Carabao Cup for West Ham. I'm only going on what Tony Mowbray said. So, David, if you want to message Tony Mowbray and tell him he's wrong, then you're welcome to do that. Terry, never played a first team game. Thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not worried in the slightest. Do you know why I'm not worried in the slightest, Phil?
You tell me. Tell me why you're not worried.
I've got a question for you, Phil. How many games did Adji play for West Ham?
I haven't got a clue, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. None at all. He was in the same youth squad as Pierre Ekwah. They both played in the under 23s, the 20-odd games together. Really good athleticism. Where did Trey Young come from? Ireland somewhere.
Lingfield. Where would Lingfield be in the England leagues? Maybe it's the conference?
Conference, possibly.
Exactly. So you've got to believe in the process, believe in Speakman. He finds the players, he brings them in. Look how good Adji is right now. One of the best players at the weekend. There's no reason why Pierre can't be the same.
Right, okay. And apparently Alessi was the one who recommended him to the club as well. But before I put the next question to you, we've got 120 people on the stream, 53 likes. We'd like to try and hit 100 if we can by the end of the show. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, just do that. It'll take you a second to just smash that. Let's get these numbers up. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so. Right. We brought in Ekwah. Tony Mowbray has already said he's not ready for the first team anyway. So it's a case of bringing these players in, developing them, and then progressing them, making them better to then go in the team. So, should we then class this as a signing in the transfer window? We're saying, we signed him. We've signed him, but he's not ready to play. So, should we be getting excited saying, we've got 5 new signings? However, 4 of them are not ready for the team. Terry?
Yeah, well, a lot of I mean, how many games did Trey Young get when he first came to Sunderland? How many games did Adji get when he first came to Sunderland? The players that are coming in, they've got to find time to bed them into the system, bed them into the team, get them up to scratch, and then when they're ready to play. Mishoot didn't come straight into the team straight away. It took a long time. Mishoot, he didn't come straight away. It took a bit of time. Now he's playing good football. That's where we may be lacking a little bit if we need another central midfielder, because with Corey Evans being injured for having the experience, if Pierre's not ready. But when we got Pierre, we didn't anticipate Corey Evans being injured with this out of season for the full season. So we may have to dip back into the market for his experienced midfielder just to fill that gap for the time being, just in case the likes of Mishoot, it doesn't sort of continue with his progress. And I don't know. I'm just saying. But I think, I like the way the things are going. But I do think we do need 1 or 2 little samples of experience in there as well.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly back on the chat. Disco Stew 2 says I'm 55 and just loving seeing great football consistently. Sorry. All we go up, the momentum is there. Imagine it if we had fit strikers last year. Also on there. Michaelan Allen says, no, Terry, Adji played in Europe with West Ham.
All right, I didn't know that, but that's not down on the stats I've got, but obviously might have been missing off anyway.
Right, okay. CONRAD, Ekwah, is he? Do we class him as a sign-in, bearing in mind that he's not ready to play in the team really? It's good if you unmute your mic.
2 times in 2 shows. Jesus, I can't do this. I forget where it is. We've done it a few times, like Terry alluded to there. Like earlier on in the summer, the 4 lads that we brought in, I think it was Bennett, Barr, Mishu, and I can't remember the other one on there, but they're all youngsters that we sort of brought in and went, these are going to be good players, but there was no guarantee any of them were going to be ready to play this season or even get straight into the team. I don't know, Bennett was in there sort of first in and around it on there. Mishu and Barr sort of seemed to be coming in a bit more and sort of in and around the first team on there as well. Diallo, when we got him on loan, I don't think we expected him to play as much as he did. He was up at Rangers last year and he didn't play that much there. And you would say that, I know this will probably annoy some people, that the SPL is kind of a similar level to where we are. You'd have thought, well, is he going to play? And he's been absolutely fantastic, you know. Like, I don't think it's a guarantee, you know what I mean, that it's like he's going to come in and he's going to set the world on light. But it's a signing. It could grow to be something good. He might go the way of Milton Nunes. We'll just have to wait and see.
Please, no. Jack?
He's taller than him anyway.
All right, fair. Well, listen, I'm taller than him, and I'm tiny. Well, that tells me. Right, okay. Should we class it as a transfer signing, Jack?
I think some babies are taller than Milton Nunes, aren't they? I mean, he's only about 2 foot, wasn't he? I just think we are going down this route now, and I think as long as the fans don't expect too much of these players and allow them the opportunity to develop, I think it can only be a good thing. I think if you go into it thinking he's going to be a world beater and he's going to play 20 games and every game is going to be brilliant and he's an established player, I think you're going to maybe come up a little bit disappointed. But if you take him for what he is, a young lad, he's going to grow in a team that's got a lot of young players, under a manager that's great with young players. I think as long as you kind of temper your expectations of it, then you can't really be disappointed, because he is young, but that can be a good thing. Do you know what I mean? It might mean that he's got no hang-ups. It might mean that he's kind of a bit raw and ready to go. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to have energy and he's going to want to prove himself. So I think as long as we realise him for what he is, and don't place too much expectations. And maybe with our young squad, we are going to have games whereby they are going to make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? And as long as our fans don't get on the back too much and just accept that that's part of a team developing, I think we should be okay. Do you know what I mean? I think that's as long as we don't expect too much of them.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Just very quickly back to the chat. Bob Bass says Mishu and Neil did more than okay against Borough. No reason to doubt them going forward. However, the casual observer on there says Mishu is an absolute paperweight and will simply get brushed aside in games. He's weak as water. Just going on that thing of Ekwah, buying these young players in, and the model we have, which the club are trying to sort of build around now. Getting these young players in, developing them, making them better so that they can play in the team, and adding value to them for future sell on, if you like. Is not a bad model to have. The problem is, are we in danger, because we do have a very young side now, are we in danger of having too many young players and not enough older heads in the team? Conrad?
What's the famous Alan Hansen quote?
You won't win anything with kids.
We're winning enough at the minute, aren't we? Doing all right. Like you said, you didn't expect us to be this far up in the league so far, and I think the majority of the side will be under the age of 25. We've probably got one of the lowest average ages in the entire league.
I think
exactly.
The average is
so,
like that, isn't it? Don't
get me wrong, I'm not sitting there saying we're going to win the FA Cup or anything like that, or even get uproot Burnley at the top at the minute on there, but they're doing all right for the starters, aren't they? And we just have to see how they go.
I mean, the thing is, though, you never win nothing with kids. That's fair enough quoting that. But the kids...
It was the only one that came to mind.
I'm talking about, we're a little bit different to the kids. They've
all got to start somewhere. How do you know this isn't going to be a class of 2022 they talk about in future generations and get the DVD out? Conrad,
I hope you're right.
Conrad needs to calm it down a little bit there.
Yeah.
No one's minding it, are they?
Steady on.
Jeff on the chat says Jack Shields talks a lot of sense. So we'll land it over to Jack.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll pay you later.
Yeah. Jack, are we in danger of having too many young players and not enough older heads?
it's all about balance, isn't it, Phil? All about balance. I think where we went wrong previously was we were, in the early short reign, we were signing players with absolutely no resale value. They're coming up, you know what I mean, old has-beens, or you know what I mean. And I think the model we're going down now is much, much better because A, you're going to see young players develop, and then B, there probably is going to be a period in the next few years whereby we do sell some players. Now, fans are just going to have to realise that that's the model we're going down. It doesn't mean we're not being ambitious. It doesn't mean that we're not wanting the best for the football club. But sometimes if you get a good offer for a player that you've developed, then sometimes it will be the right thing for them to go. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's all about balance. I agree with what's being said at the minute in terms of, we're probably going to come on to Corey Evans being out. That's one position whereby you absolutely need an experienced player to come in, but it shouldn't be the overall rule. And we're doing all right. So as long as you can balance it out with the odd experienced player, we should be okay.
Yeah, we are going to come on to Corey Evans next. Terry, I like the model. I like the sound of it. The way the way they're doing it. And I'll hold my hands up and admit initially I didn't like it, but I think the fact it's bearing fruit. It every time, the longer it goes on, the better the model looks. Are we in danger though of ending up with too many young ones and not enough older heads?
No, I don't think Tony Mowbray and obviously Christopher Speakman let it happen. I think that we got some older heads there still. We still got likes of Danny Bard, Loco Nine's getting on a little bit now. We got Bailey Wright, Lyndon Gooch has still got a bit of age with him. Obviously Evans is out for the season, and we got likes of even Ross Stewart, very experienced Ross Stewart. I watched him at the weekend. The way he sort of commands his defensive area, he's just an all-round player in defence. When the corners come across, he's just in everybody's ear, just telling them what to do, where to go. And he's a really experienced player as well. So for me, just one more experienced sort of late 20s sort of head in the middle of the park. For me, I think it's a perfect combination. Absolutely spot on.
Right, okay, just very quickly on the chat. Michael Madonna says, Jack, are you on the live chat as Jeff?
I'm not, no, but yeah, I appreciate the compliments, mate, and keep them coming if anybody else wants to pipe in.
Jeff says, hope Bailey Wright doesn't go. He seems a good pro. John Treborian, the Busby babes, Ferdy's babes, Mowbray's babes. John, go and have a sit down, man. Emma Hansen. In my opinion, I think we need some experienced heads. So getting on to Corey Evans, he's out at least for the rest of the season. The casual observer says he doesn't think he'll see him in a Sunderland shirt again. How much of a miss is he, Jack?
Yeah, he's going to be a very, very big miss. I think he was a leader on the pitch, wasn't he? He wasn't somebody who was going to win man of the match out awards or score loads of goals, but he did the sort of ugly side of the game well, didn't he? He covered the ground, he put his foot in, and in terms of his leadership, you could see, the players looked to him as well. So I think not just, his ability, you're going to miss that leadership role that he had within the team, aren't you? And that's why really we have to now be looking at somebody, even on loan for now, somebody that can try and, model what he's done. Who that is, that's going to be a completely another argument, isn't it? But we are going to miss him a lot, and yeah, he's going to be a big miss. I was gutted with the news. I'm sure there's lots of people on there we're really, really gutted as well.
Right, okay. John Treborian says he's lying down. Good. Conrad, how much of a miss is he going to be?
Yeah, he's going to be massive. I mean, Terry's right. We've got lots of players who aren't necessarily old in experience, but they've just played a lot of games for us as well. I mean, Patrick Roberts is another one. Pritchard's another one. They've been around lots of clubs. They know the system. They know what they're doing on there. So we still have, you would think, a sort of good balance. But I agree with what Jack was saying. I think that position for us, if you look at all the players that we have in there, is one where you go, with him, we definitely need to replace him with an experienced sort of professional in there. Not necessarily old, doesn't have to be that way, and they're just someone who's played the game a lot there before. You could even say that with Speakman's model and the way they do it, if you look at players that we tend to sign that are, say, over the age of 25, we only tend to go into the free transfer market for them. I think Pritchard was that way. I think Danny Barth, we got on the cheap from Stoke because he was coming to the end of his deal as well. Roberts, yes, we paid a fee for him, but we loaned him first to check him out on there. We don't tend to just... Corey Evans, again, we picked him up, I think, for next to nothing as well on there. We don't tend to pay a fee for the older, experienced ones, like Jack was saying, because there's no resale value. So I wouldn't be surprised if we took our time and maybe picked someone up on the free market after the window in that position, just because that's the model they tend to go on if they are over a certain age.
Right, okay. Just very quickly back to the chat. Las Palmas Mackems says the model not just working, but one of the best football teams in the championship. Fair play. Michaela Allen says people call him a yes man, but Mowbray is by far a better fit to SAFC than Neil ever was, and he's doing better. Terry, how much of a miss is Corey Evans going to be?
Well, a massive miss, to be honest, because, like I say, the experience not just on the pitch, but in the dressing room as well. Apparently, he's a very, very big figure in the dressing room. He's a leader in the dressing room. He's got a wise head on his shoulders. He gets amongst with the kids, and he sort of, he keeps them on the straight and narrow. So he's doing a great job at Sunderland. And at the beginning of the week, I thought it was just a niggle. I thought it was a knock.
Can I just say, it's just coming in on the chat there that Wigan have sacked Colo Tory.
Yeah, I was just reading it as well, yeah.
So that's breaking news as it happens.
That's because we beat them to Gelhardt. They've sacked him. He didn't do good enough.
Do we need to do a song for Colo?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be Mowbray offering the Jaffa cakes. Did you see him in the background when they were showing that new player
it's
around?
not the Jaffa cakes. It's the bag of Rebels, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody's going to come up with a Rebels song for Tony Mowbray. Sorry to interrupt you there, Terry.
Right.
But he's finished. Was you finished? Did have
I mean, when Tony Mowbray came to Sunderland, he also managed Corey Evans at Blackburn as well, so they had a good understanding together. So he did say, even though he's out for the rest of the season, he will be in the dressing room still. He still will be there leading the rest of the team in the dressing room. So, but yeah, I do agree. We do need someone. I can't say if Tony was saying about Midfield sort of sulking every now and again because he doesn't get a pass on the pitch. You need someone sort of he's either going to have to grow up very quickly and stop doing that, or bring someone else in who can lead from the middle. Because I don't think, sulking's the way to go in a lot of games. But obviously, he's played with Messi and Mbappe, and he must come to Sunderland and Midfield and think, "Why, I must be able to get on this team straight away." So I'm hoping he's not thinking he's going to get every single game in the middle of the park, because we do need to go out there and get somebody in with experience who can lead the team. But I mean, Corey Evans is 32, so I'm disappointed he's out for the rest of the season. I'll be kind of surprised if he actually puts a Sunderland shirt on again next season, to be honest.
Right, okay. Colin Major says he prefers Mowbray's young guns. He wants them called that. Jeff says our players are so young they can't remember when Philly had a Euro smash hit record. I wouldn't call it a smash hit, actually. It got 175 in the UK chart. So that's...
You're all playing the same joke, are you?
I thought you were in White said Freddie. It's like we're not...
No.
I thought it was going to be he's not young enough to remember when Philly had hair. I thought that was where that was
going. No.
I'm a Barbie girl. Girl. You were on there as well, right?
No, I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I thought he was going to say he's missed the S off a smash hit.
Anyway, listen, they were great days. 2004. But they were good. But maybe not good enough. I still have to work. Right, okay, so he's out. So who's going to be a good replacement for him then? Who do you think we can stick in there and do a job? Jack?
Well, I agree with what's being said at the minute. I can't see us going out and paying for somebody of that age. I think that's absolutely no chance. So it's either going to be somebody on loan, somebody who's maybe out of favour at the current side, or maybe even a free agent, somebody who can come in for a few months. Just throwing some names out there. These are just names that I've just literally looked at in the last few minutes because I thought this question would be coming. There's people like somebody like Danny Drinkwater, who hasn't had a club for 6 months. He's probably going to need some fitness issues, but he's a bit of pedigree, 32 experience. He doesn't have a club at the moment. Somebody like that would be okay. Tom Carroll, who was at Tottenham a few years back. He's someone who's a little bit. He's got experience, so he might be somebody. There's also Jacob Gallagher, I think his name was. He was at Blackburn with Tony Mowbray. He's not as old. I think he's only 24, but he's out of the. I don't think he has anybody at the minute. And with Tony Mowbray knowing him, it wouldn't surprise us if we went for somebody like that. Again, these are just suggestions at the minute, but it definitely needs to be somebody who's been there and done it and can really put his arm around the younger lads. And as I say, somebody like the ones I mentioned perhaps could be.
To be fair, I think Danny Drinkwater's a great shout, not somebody I'd thought about. Also, just before I move it over to you, Terry, DJ Sizzler Watson says, Jack, is the yellow top still on sale in the retro shirts?
Well, I think so. I think it was online. I think I got it. What was it? DH Gate, I want to say. DH Gate.
Right.
It might have been either them. I don't think it's the retro.
Yeah.
So.
Right, there you go, DJ Sizzler Watson. Try them. Before I do chuck it to you, Terry, although go on, no, you was one then. Go on.
I was just going to say, I think on the short term, I can really see Tony Mowbray, because I think if AJ still keeps fit and Bart and Ballard and Hume stay fit and they're doing a good job at the back, I could see him, if Mishu doesn't sort of kick up much grass, Luke going 9 fitting in there for a couple of games, to be honest.
Right. Well, what about you, Conrad? Who would you chuck in there?
The only one that I thought that hasn't been mentioned, I don't know if he has a club yet, but he's come up quite a few times. We've done streams recently, but he played up the road. Is Isaac Hayden? I don't know if does he have a club at the moment? Do we know? Or he played up at Newcastle for a few years, and I know the other week I was like, don't sign him just because he played for Newcastle, but it's experience, recent Premier League experience on there, not too old either. That's the only one that sort of jumped to my mind that I knew of straight away. I did a similar thing to Jack. I had a quick look, but tends to be goalkeepers and Norwich now.
Just Googled, yeah. I think he's at Norwich on loan from our dearest friends up the road.
Fair enough. And I can't think of anyone who you could poach really from another Championship club. Knowing us, we'd probably try and pick someone from maybe the league below, or maybe might even, if we have the option to, recall Matete if it comes to it.
Yeah, that's a fair shout as well, I suppose. But
playing top end League One, so
I mean, am I right to assume 09's out for another 2 games? It was a straight red, wasn't it? So that's 3 game ban. So he's out for another 2 games anyway. Just very quickly back to the chat. People on about Wigan being sacked. Glyn Jones says Torre was in charge for just 9 games and won none of them. That's a canny little statistic there.
That's Frank de Boer stats. That at Crystal Palace.
What are you saying then? Are we saying that that we need to bring someone in then to replace Corey Evans? Somebody's going to have to be brought in, even if it's on a free or not. Terry?
I've heard somewhere that Tony Mowbray has already said that we need to bring somebody in to replace Corey Evans. I'm sure he said it somewhere. I don't know whereabouts it is, but I'm sure that's what he said. So, yeah, I think we do need to bring someone. I think we're going to be a little bit light in midfield now. Definitely with like Matete going out on loan. And like I say, if Luke 09 people don't think he's going to cut the mustard in the midfield department, then we've only got Dan Neil and Mishoot. And I know Bar, he's played there a couple of times before, but again, he's still young as well. So we need that extra person there, definitely.
Maybe we'll throw Ekwah
in. Sorry.
Maybe throw Ekwah in straight away. Just go, right, you've not played a game. Day 1, go.
Right, okay. Look, I tell you what, let's get on to the FA Cup then. Saturday's game, 3:00, Fulham versus Sunderland. Simple question. Do we go for this or not? Terry?
100%. Why not? End of the day, the players have had a full week off and they've got another full week before Millwall match. So treat it as a competitive game. Why not? Just let them go down there, enjoy playing against the Premier League side. They've earned the right. Let them go down there, take the chance, get 90 minutes under the belt, and why not? May as well go for it.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Bob Bass says Matete has to be at Plymouth 30 days before he can be recalled. So just a bit of info for you. Conrad, are we going for this on Saturday? Do we need to go for it?
I wouldn't say we need to go for it. I think we should, just because it's, like Terry said, it's good experience for us to play against a Premier League side. I mean, in League One, we battered, what was it, Sheffield United and Burnley, 2 Premier League sides when we were in there as well. Even though we got battered 5-1 by Arsenal, I think we gave them a good game the other season with near enough this side on there. So I'm still hoping we give them a good go, and it's a good test if it's where we want to be and where we want to push on. It's the right thing to do instead of going at it earlier on in the season when we had like Sheffield Wednesday. I was happy we played 11 people who hadn't had a minute and just get out the competition or see if these second stringers will do anything. But this time I'm like, no, let's have a go, see where we're at, and then it's sort of a good bit of learning experience for us, I think.
Right, okay. Go on then, Terry.
I'd be 100% behind what Gary Talbot has put on the chat. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, back on the chat then, Gary Talbot just says, bring back Jordan Henderson. He wants to finish his career at Sunderland. What a shout, you know what I mean? But, and the fact, you know.
Give it a year or two, he will be.
Yeah, Sunderland lad and what have you. Well, I haven't got my tickets through today. Bob Bass says Fulham 1, Sunderland 3. Stewart and Gelhardt 2, but a bit earlier someone said Gelhardt is cup tied.
Cup tied, isn't he?
Is that right?
Played
Yes.
for Leeds already.
Right, okay. So that's not going to happen. Has Gelhardt signed already? That's Harry the Football King. Yes, he's. It's not been officially announced yet, but it is going to be announced in the next 24 hours.
Finney's going to be stopping cars outside the Academy of Light until he sees him.
Yeah. I'll be looking for the parents, though.
It's not Joe Gelhardt. It's not.
Yeah.
yeah. Something like that.
Who's
Jack,
in the back?
Yeah. Jack, do we go for this?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm all for prioritising the league, and normally I would be the same if I thought we had really anything to play for. If we were up in the top 2 and we had genuine ambitions to get in the automatic positions, then I would say absolutely play a week inside. You know, this is a great chance to go up. But I think this is really a free hit for us, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think really we're not really expecting to go to the playoffs. It would be great if we can get there. And don't get me wrong, we have a great chance to get there. I know Terry touched on it earlier. We do. I'm not disputing that for 1 second. We have a decent opportunity. But I think really this season's more about consolidation, just making sure that, you know, we're in the top half and we're building for the future. So, yeah, why not have a go at Fulham? I think they're a very, very good team. I'm looking at some of the results, and I think they're are they 7th in the Premier League at the moment? I think just outside the big, and I think most of the defeats this season, I'm looking at Arsenal, Tottenham, Man City, Newcastle. Man United, Newcastle. And it hates us to say it, but they're currently in the top 6 because Newcastle are on the top 6 at the minute. So, you know, the only teams that they've been beaten by are the teams that are doing well. So I agree, it's a great chance for us to go and test ourselves, isn't it? Let's go out and play football. Nobody's expecting us to win. I think even more Sunderland supporters are going down probably expecting nothing out of the game. So let's go down and see how good we are. And I think Tony Rubber should be saying that. The young lads, you should be saying, look, go out there, express yourselves, go and play your natural game, and let's see how good we actually are as a team. And it'll be a good yardstick for us. So, yeah, play a strong team, have a go, and see where it takes us.
Right, fair enough. Quick shout out to Marion Trolls on the chat there. Thank you for your kind comment. And just very quickly, we've got 77 likes at the moment. So if we can get 23 people to just hit that thumbs up, we can hit the 100 mark. We'd love to try and get to. So smash that thumbs up. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat, just close the live chat. You see the thumbs up, hit that. Let's get those numbers up. We'll get it up to 100 if we can. That would be much appreciated. Take a second to do that. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Free to subscribe, won't cost you anything, and that will help us out also. Fulham just outside like the European places, so nobody knows what sort of team they're going to put out. Are they going to be serious about trying to get to Europe? So, you know, want to put maybe a weaker side if there's such a thing. But what I want to ask you is this. Jack Jack already said it, about concentrating on the league and all this. Is that really a thing? Is winning, right, in the FA Cup really a distraction from the league? Is it not keeping momentum going, keeping the spirits up and stuff like that? Terry?
I think the only way it sort of hinders a little bit if you get replays after replays after replays, but I think this is the last time or last round the replay actually happens. So, no, not really, because like I say, we've got a week in between the games, so you're just really keeping the lads fit, and they're just going to, like I say, express football, go down there, play against the side in the top 7 in the Premier League, and see where we stand with some of these young lads at this moment in time.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly on the chat, shout out to Ian Barron, our Darlington fan, who's always there. Hi to you. Miles Percival says, just been on Sky Sports News that Gelhardt has signed on loan till the end of the season. So that's out on Sky now, I believe. Casual observer, Jibril Cisse, one last dance. Sorry, Conrad, you want in?
I was just going to say the Jibril Cisse one as well, but I see Anth has put his question to us saying, is this the best performance of a newly promoted team to the Championship in the past decade? And I was just going to say, I think it's probably up there. We're probably one of the best, but I seem to recall Sheffield United a couple of seasons ago went straight up with a double promotion to the Premier League. So that's probably the marker we have to hit if we're going to go for it.
Yeah, I think they did, didn't they? While you're on there though, Conrad, winning in the FA Cup, is that really a distraction from the league?
No, not unless I think if you're at the top, it's like if you're in the Premier League and you're playing in the Champions League, you've got 4 competitions, then yeah, lots of cup competitions can be distracting, a bit of a drain on the squad. But for us, we sacked off one of our competitions in the first round earlier on of the season. And then now we're sort of this one, yeah, we sort of got by against Shrewsbury. I don't want to say we did really well. We got by against them on there, we're further than Newcastle, so that's always a nice little treat as well. No, I wouldn't say it's a distraction, because at this point, I would like to think that for us, it's going to build momentum and belief that actually we can press on and do better. If we beat Fulham, who knows? We might get, say, Bournemouth or Everton next, and Newcastle. We might topple them as well.
Would we get Newcastle? Oh
no,
sorry, I forgot there, Everton.
We both lost to Sheffield Wednesday this season. They did the Northeast double this time. No, not this one. But you never know. It could just breed momentum within the squad and an extra belief that pushes us on. But I don't think it's a distraction this time around, like Jack says, because we're not quite expecting to be there. We're just taking each game as it comes, getting the wins on the board, getting the points on the board, and just getting better and better as we go.
Right, okay. Well, Jack, you said it about concentrating on the league. If we're winning and progressing through the FA Cup, is that not going to still instill confidence or, have that winning mentality?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's not so much. I don't want us to win as many games as possible. I do, obviously, but it's just more so with the squad. I think with a young squad, you have to try and not protect them, but you have to make sure that they're fighting fit in every game. And I just think if we have, as it's been touched on, I know replays end at this round, but if we do have a bit of a run, it might just mean that 1 or 2 games in the league, they're not at the best because they played a lot and the recovery time's not as much. The then might get a few knocks and things like that. So that's what I mean about focusing on the league. I don't mean I don't want us to win and I want us to get beat in this game deliberately, but I just mean sometimes you have to try and prioritise, don't you? But I think what's going in our favour now is we're not really, don't get us wrong, it would be great to get in the playoffs, but it's not really our main ambition this season, is it? So if we can get there, great. If we can keep winning it and we get into the playoffs, absolutely fantastic. But let's have a go at the FA Cup and use it as a test and see where we are as a team.
Right, okay, just very quickly, 140 people on the stream at the moment. 92 likes. If 8 people just hit that thumbs up, we'll hit the magic 100 number we are trying to get to. Yeah, like you say, Jack, playoffs is a bonus for us. I think Michael McKenna needs to go and have a lie down, though. 2 trips to Wembley this season, playoff final and FA Cup final, and Southampton to knock the scum out of the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. Go and have a lie down. I'll put the wine back in the bottle, please. Thank you. Yeah, for me, I think winning, in the FA Cup, I don't think it's a distraction. I think it keeps that winning mentality going. I think it's all about injuries. I think, you worry that, you play a cup game and you get a bad injury to a key player or something like that. And that's where you need to be prioritising, I think, Jack. Good if you unmute your mic first, though. Conrad's over the moon.
I was just going to say you have to imagine, you have to realise that it's a young squad as well. Do you know what I mean? So you don't want them to get burnout. So you have to try and manage the fitness.
Don't even go there, man. Didn't give us all this crap about them being tired and all that, man. They're young lads, man. They're not doing a 9-to-5 job.
Match fitness, man. It's match fitness. It's not overall fitness. We're talking about match fitness here.
Oh, right. Okay, then. All right. You're not going to win me over on it, man. It's a load of tosh, man. And you're the same, Terry. You think they get tired as well. Or we need to tuck them up and look after them and all that. You know what I mean?
No, but the size now is going to be don't be fine now.
Listen, man. They want to go and do a proper grafting job like what I do. I mean, pressing play all the time.
It's stand on the stage just looking at women and talking to blokes and playing music. Drinking a few beers.
Hey, mentally draining.
Manual labour. Oh, you don't even know how to spell it.
Hey, man, you sound like our last. Behave yourself. You don't know what a proper job is. Right. Right, let's get some score predictions from you then. Terry.
Do you want me team sheet or what?
Oh, go on. I'm forgetting about you. Sorry about that. Hang on. Let me take this branded off here first. Terry's whiteboard on the way. Hang on. We'll get rid of that. We'll do that and we'll swap. Sorry for me. There you are. Here we go. Right. The team.
There we go. I've even got a score prediction there. Sunderland to win 3-2. Exactly the same team that started last week against Middlesbrough, apart from Midfield replaces Evans. Simple as. Don't change the winning side. Give the lads some confidence. Great result last week. Let them go to Fulham. Majority of people think we're going to get beat. Why not go down there and give it a good go? Enjoy the weekend away. Get some experience against a really good Premier League side. There you go.
Right, fantastic. I've got to say, I mean, I wasn't on Monday, so I didn't get a chance to sort of comment on the Middlesbrough performance. But one of the best performances I've seen over this season. I thought they were superb. The team. So you're going 3-2 for Sunderland, Terry. Conrad, prediction?
2-0 Sunderland. I think we'll surprise everybody with a clean sheet as well, and just sort of. I think they might put a weakened team out on there as well. Fulham, I think might take us a bit lightly considering they're flying high in the Premier League. But yeah, 2-0 Sunderland. I think we'll edge it past them. A clean sheet.
Right, fair enough. Jack?
I don't think we're going to win, unfortunately. I know I'm known for being a little bit pessimistic. I do think we'll score. I think because we look like we can score against any team, don't we? I think we're definitely a much more better, a better attacking team. Albeit we've got a clean sheet on Sunday, that was excellent. But I definitely think we're better at attacking than going forward. So I do think we'll score. But I think Fulham will have too much for us. They've got Pereira, who's a very, very good player, and they've got one or two others. And I think, in my opinion, I don't see why a team like Fulham doesn't have a real good go at the FA Cup, because they haven't won anything in the history. So I think it's going to be 3-1, I'm afraid. I think they'll just have a little bit too much for us. 3-1 Fulham.
3-1 Fulham. Right, fair enough. Just very quickly, there's a lot of people drinking wine on the chat tonight. Anyone fancy 2 trips to Wembley this year? That's Alan Kennelly. Right, well, I'm going to go for a Sunderland win, but I'm going to go for 2-1 Sunderland. I'll still put my 3-1 on. But I'm sick. I was
going to say, imagine if it's 3-1 and you don't do it.
Oh no, I will. I'll still put my 3-1 on. Don't worry. But I'm going to go for 2-1 Sunderland. Right. I was going to go on about the magic of the FA Cup and stuff like that, and as it's still got it and what have you. But we'll leave that for another time. We'll leave that for the 5th round game when we can talk about that. We're on our way to Wembley because we are out of time, I'm afraid. So once again, thanks for joining us. Conrad, would you just like to wrap it up and say bye to everybody?
See you later, everybody, and keep the faith, as Jacob says.
Keep the faith. And Terry, would you like to just say bye to everyone?
Goodbye, everybody.
Woo, thank you. And Jack, sign off as you normally do.
Oh, well, see you later, lads and lasses, and, enjoy the game on Saturday if you're there, and if not, well, just watch it and hope for the best.
Are you going down, by the way, Jack?
I am, yes. Early start on Saturday. Our bus is going at 6:30, and we've been done by the fixture list because we've got 2 London trips in a week. So we've got like Fulham on Saturday and then Millwall the week after. So yeah, getting the plenty of travelling. I'm going to see a lot of the motorways in the next couple of weeks.
That's it. Get your motorway miles up. That's what you got to do. Right. Well, we've got 102 likes, so a massive thank you for you lots for hitting that thumbs up for us. We will be back. When we're back Monday, aren't we? We're back Monday. Wayne's away on holiday, so his roundup won't be on the channel this week. He's off on a cruise, sunning himself somewhere. But we will be back Monday. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, if you're a member, if you joined, you'll see your name in the credits at the end. So look out for that. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.